So we talked a little bit about, what if you get like the D on the exam, but like overall, like when you have setbacks mentally, what do you do about it?
Yeah. If you have a goal, let's just say, you really want to make sure you're studying 3 times a week. And I don't know if people set goals like that, but this is just like, or I want to study at 10 p.m. tonight, and then something happens, something comes up. What do you do, right? So if you're reviewing how your week went or how your day went, and you're like, I really missed the mark.
Yeah.
I really encourage people, and you can attest to this, like, don't focus on the negative. People always come to the conversation saying, well, I didn't do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what did you do?
Yes. You are very good at that. Yes.
Let's redirect it.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah.
What went well?
Yeah.
And in those moments that maybe things didn't go so well, look at the days that went well. What did you learn?
Yeah.
How can you now apply that to the other days?
Yeah. And even thinking about that, it got me in my head going, we should probably have a conversation about how we talk to ourselves.
Yes.
Because if we talked to our accountability buddy, or your study partner, the way that we talk to ourselves, that's a real short friendship. So I think maybe also with this is kind of being more aware of how you talk to yourself. So even if it's not out loud of like, nope, I failed that goal. It's just, so how
Self-talk.
can we have a conversation about that?
Yeah, I always tell people, like, okay, what if your best friend just came to you and said, oh, I failed. I only studied 2 times this week. What would you tell them?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, great job. Like, you got 2 times in. That's awesome.
It's, especially considering that you had a cold this week.
Yeah,
like,
or
they
you're
will point
tired,
out those,
or you got sick, whatever, right?
Yeah. And we tend to, on ourselves, be the hardest.
Very hard.
Yes, hardest critic. And we don't kind of catch those factors that I think a friend would point out. Like, yeah, but you also had this, and this going on. So I think maybe making that part of that conversation.
Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend.
Yeah.
Any friend.
Yeah.
You would talk to your neighbor like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, how would you tell someone else? How would you encourage someone else? Do the same thing for you. We are so critical on ourselves, and it can really drive us into a hole.
Yeah. Well, and it also, I think, tends to get us into some of that fixed mindset conversation, too. Like, you get the result back, and you're like, oh, I'm just dumb. Or, oh, I'm just not good at math.
You just start criticizing. Or like, well, I'm never going to do this. All or nothing thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's not a recipe for success. Like,
No.
if we want to achieve, we have to be realistic with the understanding that we are not set creatures. Our brains, the neurons in our brains are always rewiring and reconnecting.
Yes.
And so we are different. And I always tell students, even if you want to a physical representation of it, our skin on the outside is replaced every 2 weeks. So we are a new person every 2 weeks. And so when we recognize that, learning is part of that growth process, it's not I'm bad at this and that's it. I think we even talked about it before. It's like, it's the stop shitting on yourself, like always seeing like, I should have done that. I should have done this. Instead, it's like, oh, I'm learning how to be better at this. And so it's not perfect at first.
If
that's okay.
the goal is realistic, if what you're asking of yourself makes sense, then it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to throw in the towel just because 1 week it didn't go like you thought it would.
Yeah.
You say, well, that's a bummer, but I know I can do it, and I know here's what went well, so let's apply that to the next week.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Any other advice for students that are maybe in that moment of like, uh-oh, that didn't go well?
Again, look at the situation as a whole and say, but what did go well? I'm always going to ask you, when you're seeing the negative, thinking the negative, what went well? And what are you proud of? How many times do I ask you, what are you proud of today?
Yeah, and that's the biggest part, because then the next thing you always ask me is like, what did you learn from it? And that's how I can adjust moving forward.